How are y'all doing in here? How are y'all doing here? It's great to see you. After having a run-in with my computer and phone. And how are y'all doing? It's great to see you. Sorry, I have not been in here. Um, my freakily fracking um computer was all things including sick, and I couldn't get into it. So if you were wondering where in the hell I was, I was trying to get my computer fixed here so I can come back in because I couldn't get into it. I couldn't get into it and nothing was working. So if you were wondering where the hell or heck, so if you were wondering where the hell I was getting my computer fixed at the time because I just couldn't bloody get into the thing. But anyway, here we are. So anyway, here we are together, and my face is going to be in here a lot more. Sorry about the delay, but now I want to shut up and open my mouth here, and talk about maybe possibly a delicate subject known as the housewife. That's right, Sergeant Dunko. I said the housewife. I well, what can I not say? Not say. Well, like what can I say, right? House the the housewife shouldn't always be the housewife. Like there's more. And no wait, and before I have a mob coming after me saying, "What are you? Where are you coming from, and where are you going with this?" Hang on, pull your feet up, take off your socks. Something I'm gonna something I'm gonna do right now, and I'll get right into it, and I'm gonna get right into it. Wait, well, this is like the age old thing since the 1950s, maybe even earlier. It's always the husband. It's it's always, and even today, there's always the wife. There there is always the wife doing the kitchen duties, and the cooking, and the cleaning, and everything you could think of. The house husband, but the husband though, and here's where it becomes a delicate situation. The husband is a working guy. He's got a job. He's the breadwinner. He makes the money, and the kids and the wife, they use that money to go out and get food and water and milk and like everything from it, everything from dish detergent to shampoo and soap. But but just a minute. Why isn't there any house husbands? We got plenty of housewives, but not enough house husbands or house boyfriends. Like it gives, like, I mean, stuff like that. Women's lib have Like, I mean, it's stuff like that that women's lib um, are talking about. You know, it's stuff like that that house. It's stuff like that that women's lib have to put all of their energy into talking about. Wait, that's wonderful. That's wonderful, and it's a nice friendly gesture. But is that all what women's lib is about? Talking about how it's always the wife in the kitchen, or women's rights, which I'm not, which I am totally supportive of. The right to be a woman, the right to be a woman, and and not being a and not being uh, shot from behind because they're black or because they work hard. I mean, come on. What what's with all the rooting and the roaring for? You know, like, I mean, women's lib should not just be about the rights of the housewife. It should I mean that's one thing of it. I think what I think women's lib should be talking about is how they can get their husbands into the kitchen. Oh yeah, no, that's right, that's right. I can hear I can hear some people going out there going like, "What? Are you nuts?" No, I'm not. Well, I'm going to answer that question. I feel I I am nuts. I I'm nuts about husbands and wives working together in the kitchen. You know, and I do care, and I care a lot about the husband working hard, but at least he should be able to do three things that makes the their wife's job a lot easier. To come in, to put their shoes in the corner, whatever. They they pick up the cigar if they're smoking cigars. They they don't beat me up on that, okay? I'm not up for like or whatever, you know. Uh, Vacuuming the downstairs or putting away something, but there should be, you know, helping their wives out here. And I'm not just talking about my like and and I'm not just talking about some husbands. I'm talking about all husbands. I'm even talking about my dad. Okay, maybe not my dad, but like, well, maybe my dad too. I'm not sure how that would fit. I'm not sure how that would fit, but even he could do some stuff like, yeah, knows how to make beans, stuff like that. But you know, knows how to cook a mean pot of beans and all that. But this is not just my dad. I'm talking about. I'm talking about all husbands. You know, like, I mean, ring ring goes the bell here. You know, like, I mean, right up here, husbands. Why not house husbands? You know, why not they? Why don't? Why can't they do the same stuff their wife is doing on the weekends? Like, I mean, what? Like, I mean, why not? Just like, I mean, holy Jolene, right? Wives aren't just like if they're expected to be housewives and not have a life of their own, well, oh my God, does that stink? That stinks like that stinks like a barbecued skunk, because like when when did that when did that happen? That the housewife is that the wife is supposed to be doing all the work, and the husband doesn't do anything. He just comes home and flops on the couch or the chair, like. And I'm not. And just a minute, before anybody gets angry and they you know threaten to ban me from my channel. I want to explain this. Husbands should be having the role of house husband in the kitchen, at least on the weekends, so they can give their wife, so they can give their wives a break. Doesn't make sense. Like I mean that that makes a lot of sense over here. That makes a lot of sense over here. Like if I had a wife, shouldn't shouldn't I pick up the dish towel? Shouldn't I not learn how to cook so my wife doesn't cook like every day of the next 25 years? I mean, holy Tim Burton, like what? Like I mean, what's with this old fashioned gobbledygook? Like I mean, what is with this old fashioned gobbledygook that says no that the housewife should that the wife should do it and the husband shouldn't? Bullshit to that. Bullshit to that. We we husbands like husbands and wives should be doing, you know, either like husbands should be doing everything the the wives are doing on the weekends. Like do the laundry, um, making the beds, um, doing the washing, the vacuuming, the cooking, the whole 10,000 yards, man. And I know some brilliant, and I know some fantastic husbands, and I've heard of some, and I've been around the corner more than a few times. I I've seen and I've heard of some great of some great house husbands. They'd be more than they- they'd be more than willing to help their wife, or kick the wife out on her behind out of the kitchen so they can do it for the wives. Like okay, wife, or whatever your name is, get out of my kitchen. I'm doing what you're doing, but I'm doing it on the weekend. I'm giving you a break. Why not? I mean, it makes sense over here. Like if I was married to a little to a to a cute little, like if I was married and having a wife, what is stopping me from at least making lunch and dinner? You know, what's stopping me from making dinner for my wife and doing the ironing and the vacuuming and whatever else the writers do on the weekdays. You know, like I mean, come on. Why not give women's lib? Why not give women's liberation a chance to talk about other things? Not just about the rights of women and the rights of the kitchen and being in the kitchen and all that. Women's lib should be like an open access to anything, and I think it is. But you know, I I would hate to say I I would love to see, I would love to hear about women's liberation talking about the price of the of the of the coffee every now and then. You know, it should be just the right. It shouldn't. Women's liberation should not just be about rights. Women's rights. It should be about like how the price of coffee went up, how the gas is going up, how gas to put in the cars are going up in price. You know, anything. It should be like women's liberation should be talking about anything, anything they want to talk about. I don't care if it's the price of gas, the price of coffee, what they think, of their next door neighbor. You know, I mean, why not? Why not? Like, I mean, just give these things a chance. You know, like women's liberation, or women's bowling. Hey, women's bowling, perfect. You know, or women's liberation talking about the bowling teams. You know, like how they can be improved. You know, if they're not, you know, servicing the service right. You know, I mean, come on, like, come on, like, I mean, husbands everywhere. Husbands have such a, you know, and I'm not talking about like The Simpsons or Jim Henson's Dinosaurs. I'm talking about guys who know how to take care of a third of what their wives are doing in the kitchen or in general. You know, like I mean, like I mean, since when, like I mean, what what the housewife does with her time shouldn't always be around their husband. Like I watched enough. Like I mean, I've watched enough All in the Family to know that the housewife should be able to spread their wings, you know, and do things for themselves instead of always, you know, making like the waitress all the time. You know, like I love that show All in the Family. I think it's nuts, but there's a lot of things in there that would stir a person the wrong way if they were watching that for the first time. You know, aren't you know the husband getting in their way all the time and making the wife feel like, and I'm not saying that, in general. I'm just saying like I mean Archie Bunker. Here's something. Like I mean Archie Bunker is a swell guy. He's got a like he loves his daughter. He loves his son-in-law, even though he even though he's jealous of the whole like him going of the son-in-law going to college and stuff and getting ahead in the game. Something Archie Bunker just couldn't do. You know, like I mean, and as much as jealous, and as much jealousy Archie has from Mike, there's always that there's always that air of mystery of going like he doesn't say he's jealous, but Edith is the one that is telling Mike, yes, no, Michael, Mike, this is not the man out there that I'm married to was not always this. He's a wonderful man. He's a wonderful father. He's a wonderful this and that, and of course he's going to have issues with me. That's just the, but you shouldn't have to. But you shouldn't have to wear that, Michael. But you shouldn't have to wear that, Mike. He's jealous. He's jealous of you, and of course, Mike kind of gets that. And of course, Michael Stivic, he kind of gets it, but not really. I mean, and of course, Michael Stivic does somewhat get it, but he only somewhat, but he doesn't. And of course, Michael Stivic only gets like he understands it, and he gets it somewhat, but he's still he is still new blood. Rather but he's still new blood. Like I mean, actually, Archie was going Archie was a veteran in the Second World War, and he's a Gentile. He's a Gentile who doesn't always get it right. Like he's a guy who doesn't always get it right the first 100 times, but the second 100 times he's bound to get it right. So but he doesn't have all the college degrees and that. That's Michael. Michael is like the new blood that in Archie's head is starting out, trying to build himself and go up the elevator of success. Well, Archie has been walking up and down stairs all his life. Now he's got a guy who'd rather take the elevator than take the stairs. That's Michael. Michael's the guy who'd rather take the elevator. And Archie's been walking up and down the stairs for years. He's the John Wayne. He's the John Wayne, if you will, of Queens, New York. As for Michael, he's just coming into the scene. He's just coming into the scene. He's trying to better himself with his wife, Gloria. He's trying to do the things that Archie fell off the wagon years ago. Michael's trying to do all that stuff that Archie couldn't because he had to raise a family. So that would explain things of the working circuit between Archie Bunker, Michael Stivic, and Edith. They're all working class. They're the working middle. They're the working class, but they're not. One is a loading dock operator, who is also a veteran from. One is a loading dock operator. One works at a loading dock. And sees people walking up and down the street all the time, and knows people. And Michael is the guy that has seen people too, but he's going to college and stuff. He's just he's building his college degrees and all that. And Archie has been the breadwinner for ever. Like he knows, like he's the American bald eagle, so to speak. And, 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 and Michael is the future, uh, and Michael is the way of the future. So you know, like Archie is like the John Wayne or the American Eagle versus Michael Stippen. Um, you know, the uh, the brand new way of thinking. So we got the old fashioned thinking, which is Archie, and the new way of thinking, who is Michael Stippen. So if we get back to our original thinking, that's just that's just one portion of what I'm talking about. On the family people. But getting back to our original thinking, sorry about that. Housewives should be doing more things than just hanging around the kitchen and 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 that they should be in like they should be able to look for jobs too that isn't in the kitchen. That should, it should be up there. Like in Edith Bunker's, the Sunshine Home, helping the more elderly, helping the elderly, helping people. You know, but don't just stop. But I'm not just gonna stop there. I'm not just gonna stop there. Housewives all over the world should be giving the kitchen over to the husband on the weekends, saying, "Okay, here's how this goes. If I can do it, so can you." That's the wife saying, you know, "I I love you, husband. I love you, my husband, but I gotta do things too that isn't in the kitchen. You know, you can do what I do on the weekends, and then we'll meet at 40-50. Like I'll come back and I'll do it again. Uh, but during the week, you need to pull your weight and help me out. That's what we're talking about here. When 40 talks, like when 60 talks, 40 listens. Why not? Why not? Why not get right into the whole like this is bad? Is it bad stuff? Like it's bad for the environment for the wife if they're just the housewife. You know, Making them feel like they're part of the furniture instead of being an actual person and looking for other things to do that isn't in the house. You know, like you get it. Okay, why am I explaining this to you? Like, like you're smart. You know how to treat your wife. You know how to tell your wife to get out of the kitchen if you are acknowledging that they're doing too much in there. Why not just stop? Why not just pull on? Why not pull? Why not pull down? Like why not? You know why not like kick the wife out of the kitchen, grab a beer or what or whatever was left of the coffee, and do the rest of what the wife was doing on the weekends. You know, Making the coffee, like doing the ironing, doing the beds, making meals, uh, you know, supper, and like and if you're not sure how to do it, look it up. You know, go to your computer and see what is an easy dish. And learn how to do it. You know, or even a hard dish like lasagna or something. You know, if the wife can do it, so can the husband. Like doesn't that make sense to you? It, it makes sense to me. Like it makes sense to me over here. that totally makes sense. You know, I I mean the housewife is fine, you know, but what about a house husband? If the wife can do it on the weekdays, so can the husband on the weekend. Like like if the wife can do it from Monday to from Monday to uh, Thursday, why can't the husband do it from Friday to Sunday? Yeah, like it's hard enough. Like it's easy, you know. Like 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 I realize it's a man's world. I get that, but does it all have to be just a man's world? There's got to be some things out there that inquire the work of men and women. You know, like they're equals. You know, and I'm not saying women have to take over a man's job. I'm not I'm not saying that, but you know, there should be jobs for women that are out there too. You know, but that's what I'm trying to tell you is that if it's just the housewife, like if it's just doing the housewife and doing all the you know the dishes and the and the woohoo and like all that, could like I guess that that's important, but what's more important is that the wife has more things to do and not just looking after the kids and the husband. You know, the kids and the husband can do that too, or the teenagers and the husband. Nothing's more cruel. Nothing is more cooler than the teenagers saying, "Hey, mom, I'm sorry you're working. I am so sorry that you're working like this in the kitchen all the time. Let me do it. I realize that I'm the teenager. I realize that I'm the teenager here, and I'm into other things. But I can try to accommodate. But I can try to accommodate. But I can, you know, like I'm into teenage things. But that's all right. You know, I'm hip. I can like if you need help with the dishes or the coffee or something, please let me. You know, give me the tools. I want to learn how to do it because like I'm not gonna be a teenager forever. You know, like I'm gonna need to learn these things eventually. So why not start now? You know, like come on, it's about helping mom in the kitchen. It's about helping the wife in the kitchen. You know, it's about taking the wife out of the kitchen and taking over for the weekend. Sounds simple over here. Give it a shot. Like I realize the husband is the breadwinner. I get that. I totally get that. But they could at least do five things to make the wife's job in the kitchen, um, or d- duties, or house duties. If people are tired of hearing that word job, you know, like if some people are not liking the word, um, like if some people are not like if some people are not liking the free the word of it's a woman's job. If some people are very skittish about that, then let's just call it kitchen duties. You know, kitchen 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 duties. Like just you know, the husband should be able to take over on the weekends and say, okay, I love your wife, but you know, oh, I'm taking over. I'm taking over for the weekend. You can get it back when the week is new, when the week is here again. But you know, I'm taking over for the weekend. You know, I don't care how tired I am. I'm going to do 5 things to make your life easier in the kitchen. So, you know, so I said my, so apparently I said my part here. But just, think about it. Think about it, okay? There is such a thing as a house husband. Just because it hasn't been thought of, just because it hasn't been thought of yet, doesn't mean it can't happen. So having said, you know, there is such a thing as the house husband. There is such a thing as the house husband. Just because it hasn't been thought of yet, doesn't mean it can't happen. So I'm going to see you. So without further ado here, and as Porky Pig would say it, the dog folks.